you want to see what keywords you rank for on Google and which ones you're missing out on? Google Search Console is a free tool that does just that. In this video, I'll walk you through a step-by-step process to get this set up, whether you're on WordPress, Shopify, or another platform. It's simple, quick, and easy, and this valuable tool has tons of resources to help you get ranking. Let's get started. All right, so to get started, type in Google Search Console and click on the first result. Next, hit Start Now. From here, go to Add Property. Now, you're going to have two options, your domain or your URL prefix. For the purpose of this, we're going to want to use domain. You can see the way that this branches out. Your domain is going to cover all the different variations somebody could use to get to your site, whereas this is only going to cover one of the options. So you have like a www dot, a non-www dot version, and you'd have to track them all separately. It's going to be way better if you can do the domain tracking and have everything routing to one property. So to get started, we're just going to add your domain here. So once you hit that, hit connect, and it's going to give you the instructions to get this set up. So we're going to use a TXT record. To do this, you are going to need the login for wherever your domain is hosted or your DNS. So that's usually GoDaddy or Namecheap, something like that. So these steps are going to be the same no matter what domain name provider you're using, even though the dashboard might look a little bit different. If you need to, pause the video and that'll make it a lot easier for you to follow along. So the first step is going to be just clicking the copy button right here and copying this value. After you do that, log into your domain provider. In this case, the client uses something called iPage, which I've never even heard of, but I think it should be fine. We're going to go through and just navigate this together. So typically you're going to go try and find the domain that you're using and click on a gear icon or some kind of settings. The next thing that you're looking for is going to be your DNS and name servers. So we'll click there. And then what we're doing is adding a DNS record. So we're going to click on DNS records, hit this plus sign right here, and we're specifically adding a TXT record. So we'll add that here, and then in content, we will paste the record value. And in some cases, they'll call this value rather than content. So you might notice it says that, but it's going to be the exact same. We don't need to touch the time to live. And then our name should either be blank or at. So in this case, like a lot of times the at symbol will be the default if you don't add anything. And in that case, it would allow you to do the record. But we're going to add the at symbol because you can see it needs something to be there, and hit add to DNS. You should see something that confirms it was successfully added, just like that. And now we're going to click verify. But something that's really important to mention is this is probably going to fail. So the way that DNS works is it doesn't just automatically go out to the entire internet immediately after you've added this record. So we'll click verify right now and see it actually worked. So that's great. But a lot of times you're going to hit this and it's not going to work. Come back in like 15 minutes and try it again, and it's probably going to go through no problem. Click done. And then I guess we should have hit go to property, but I will do that now. And now you'll notice that it says processing data. So unfortunately, it does take some time to get the data in unless you've already had it set up in the past. But that's okay. We're still going to do some work right now that's really important. So the next thing that you want to do is add your sitemap. So if you come down here and click on sitemaps, typically it's just going to be your domain name /sitemap.xml. And let me just check, because this is a brand new client and I'm not sure if that is the URL that they're using. So there's redirects to this sitemap index because they are using Yoast. So we can add that. And then we're going to also add the individual sitemaps that are in here because that's most important for it to read. So Yoast does split these up between pages and posts and products and things like that. We are just going to add the page and the post sitemaps and the product sitemaps. There's some work we'll need to do to actually reduce the redundancy of some of those sitemaps because they don't need all of those, and it's actually just going to confuse Google. But having pages and posts is definitely something we want. So we'll just go through and add those. And we're also going to want the product sitemap. So the sitemaps are going to allow Google, if you click on these, it shows all of the pages that exist on your website. And that's really important for Google to know. It's going to help them crawl it and just efficiently get around your website and get things ranking. So once you have that set up, you're going to be able to see some really cool statistics. In here, we're still waiting for the data. So let me sign into my dashboard. So now you'll be able to see the queries that are driving the most traffic, which is amazing. You can use these to just look at and decide more things to optimize. You can see what pages are getting the most traffic as well, which is really, really important because, you know, if you're ever going to change out a post, you don't want to delete one that is doing really well. So having all of this information is just really critical. If you click these buttons, you can get more data as well. So it'll start showing the average position, your click-through rate, and that's also really good to know. Is you can see that this has a great click-through rate, and so yeah, these are really good things to know. And other things that you want to look at is if you are having trouble ranking your site, you want to double check that you don't have any manual actions, which would be any penalties that Google's inflicted on you, seeing if there's any security issues. That's really important as well. You can click on the links tab and you can see the pages that are linking to getting the most external links, and you can see the top linking sites that are linking to your page as well as the anchor text. So this tool is it's free and it has so much important information for SEO. And then the last step that you might need is to add somebody else to your Google Search Console account. So if you did need to add somebody else, you're just going to come through and go to user and permissions, add user, and add their email address in here. And then you would you're probably going to do full permissions. If they are an owner, you're going to do owner. And if you want to restrict some of the permissions, you could do that as well. Yeah, and I think that's it. If that sounds helpful, hit the subscribe button below. I share tutorials like this all the time to help you grow with SEO.